for some action. So you come to the right place. Welcome. It's just about 10 o'clock. I'm Meteorologist Tuttle. We are here to talk about some snow again. If you missed my live at lunchtime today, we did touch on that, and we'll touch more on that here this evening because there's a lot of touching when it comes to snow. So anyway, glad you could join me. So I think you're going to enjoy this. You know, it puts a smile on my face. It's not going to cause any problems. You know, look, man, it's the middle of April. Ground temperatures are warm. But hey, the fact that it's even going to snow is actually pretty cool. At least I think so anyway. All right, so you know what I like to do is like to get on into the stuff. Let me check a couple of things here real quick before I go all nuts. Okay, looking there, looking here. Okay. All right. Just, you know, I always got to look at few things behind the scenes. That's what I always got to do. Let's see. Let's go to this one. Bring that down. And this guy. And make sure that these are going. All right. I think we're golden. So I think we're going. So you're seeing my back end of how I kind of look at this. This is a YouTube page right here, so I can check to see how things are going on this side. But now I'm going to show you what's on the other side. So temperatures out there right now are into the 30s across the state, 40s out across the east, and near freezing out here in western Oklahoma. There are a couple of spots just right about freezing. Now, it won't be as cold tonight as it could be because of the snow out there and the cloud cover, believe it or not. So let's take a look at that, by the way. This is how that looks across the state with the temperatures overlaid. And yes, you see all that radar return magic here over central Oklahoma stretching out to the west. This is just to the north and west side of Tulsa, stretching to the north side here of Oklahoma City. So if I were to look outside my backyard, I should be able to see some flurry action. I'll pull up my roof cam here in a minute and see if we can't see something on that. But meanwhile, the activities are kind of just now getting underway. It's been kind of flurrying off and on in some parts of the state today, but it'll actually start coming down. You can actually visibly see it if you're going to be staying up tonight. Just to watch the snow. You will not be building any snowmen though, so don't get too excited, all right? Okay, so let's go back over here to the models. The other thing is the temperatures, even though they're a little bit above freezing, the 0Z sounding has the wet bulb temperature right about at +1, right at the surface to, looks like just a couple hundred meters off the ground. So in other words, the snow that is falling in this layer will not melt in time once this air kind of saturates a little bit more. So that means instead of kind of a rain-snow mix, it should become more of an all-snow mix here overnight. All right, so how does that look on the model data? We can take a look here through time. Now, it's still not, I'll tell you this, models are not that great as far as sometimes picking up the immediate, what it really looks like outside, for example. You know, we saw some snow up in this area. Guess what? Model doesn't have it there, but you know they're not the best. They give us guidance. We call them guidance. Anyway, so this has the snow, and that's all this wonderful blue stuff you see here in the data, hanging out there to beat the band out in the Panhandle region, right? All right, so go through time. This is around midnight hour. You can see how it continues to stretch on up to the east. It wasn't too far behind from current. As we head into the overnight hours, into daybreak tomorrow, so that's 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning, it is still snowing out there. By around mid-morning, it starts to taper off to some flurries, and by noontime, it's gone. So that's how this system will evolve. It's just a weak upper-level disturbance swinging on through. Not a crazy storm system by any stretch of the imagination, but it will be enough to cause a little bit of snow. Now keep in mind, as I show you these numbers, it's always dangerous to show snowfall maps just because there's always so much disappointment. I feel for you. All right, so let's see what we got here for the comparison runs here for tonight. Okay, so we'll start you off with the 3-kilometer NAM, and it's got some lovely dusting up to around an inch in areas here. Pockets from central to northeastern Oklahoma. It includes Tulsa region, back in Oklahoma City proper, back down to south and west Oklahoma. All right, its brother, the NAM, has kind of a similar look, but it kind of got carried away and out of control way down southwest. I don't think you're going to see 5 inches down here in southwest Oklahoma. Some of these other models, though, kind of favor that look. Here's another high-res cam model, which has some of those higher snowfall totals down there. Here's another one, and then another one, and then another one. So a very similar look. So your take-home is not the specific amounts because it will melt, folks. The ground is warm. warm. But the take home is in this region here is where most of the snowfall accumulation will occur for Oklahoma. And there's going to be some, on outskirts of this, but it's kind of hugging I-40 and 44. So 44 on this map runs like this. I-40 on this map runs like this. So it's crisscross, connect the dots, whatever you want to call it, bullseye. That's how it looks. And there's, of course, some more snow out here in the panhandle of Texas. We're going to see a lot more of that, and even into New Mexico, looks like a little bit. Okay, so another high-resolution model I like to use for severe weather seems to think that most of the precip accumulation side will be on that south end of where we had that bullseye. It's got about a ½ inch of snow down here along the Red River. Now, at a 10-to-1 ratio, that is 5 inches of snow, believe it or not. So keep in mind that may try to fall from the sky. Again, the keyword may, but it will not accumulate to 5 inches of snow because it will melt pretty quickly. If you take a look at the ensemble runs from the computer models, and they do have that same kind of look to them, with anywhere from dusting to the darker blue shading, that's almost 2 inches of snow. So even the ensemble models are saying, yeah, you get a couple inches of snow out of this. But like I said, most of us are going to be asleep when this happens, so you're not going to be able to see it unless you stay up in the middle of the night. Even the run here at Oklahoma City, if we take a look at it, these are the 3-hour snowfall accumulation totals. Every 3 hours, it plots up a little. And it's got, I think it goes like 2 inches. If I go to total QPF, will it show it? Yeah, 0.2. So at a 10-to-1 ratio for snowfall accumulation, we're looking at about 1 to 2 inches of snow is the average. Now, I would love to see 2 inches of snow here in Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, like I said, I would have to stay up all night to watch it. I'm not going to do that. But hey, if you are, do me a favor, make a post on Twitter, Instagram, and hashtag it AT's weather, and post a picture of your snow. And if you can manage the most tiniest snowball out there in existence, please do that for me as well, because I would love to see the tiniest snowman in the world. So, hey, that is some good stuff. So that is the summary for your snow. I want to show you temperatures as well, because we're looking for another freeze. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to pop up my camera and see if it actually shows something. And we'll see if that jives. So hang on here a second. Doing this behind the scenes. Can't show you all my secrets, right? Got to save something, Can't. Why buy the milk if the cow's for free? Wait, why buy the cows? Wait, how's that go? Oh, eureka! Check this out. Oh, this right here is gravy. This is the reason why I got this camera. Well, that and tracking tornadoes. I'd rather be tracking this for snowfall, though. Not necessarily for tornadoes, but it's going to serve its purpose. So this is looking at the little white flakes you see hitting the lens. Look at them all zipping around. Doo-doo-doo. So it is a blizzard out there, folks. It is an Oklahoma blizzard. I expect just lots of trouble on the roadways here shortly with the size of the massive amounts of these flakes coming down. So it's pretty cool, though. I like that. See if I can tilt up a little bit. Get a better look. Oh, look at them all coming. Whew. Infrared, baby. Okay, so anyway, that's a look at what's going on outside my window. I could just stick my head out the door, but yeah, what fun isn't that, all right? Okay, so, I want to go back to the temperatures real quick, and then we can turn you guys loose. You can hang out with me, whatever you want to do. All right, let's go to this one, because the temperatures really are the snow is a big story, don't get me wrong, but so is, a later season freeze, where some of you may have some tender vegetation out there, and that's going to be a problem too, right? Okay, so let's do this. All right, by daybreak tomorrow, like I said, mid-30s here in central Oklahoma. There'll be pockets of freezing out here in western parts of the state, but not nearly like it was this morning. And then we'll rebound to the 40s tomorrow, and then back down into tomorrow night, very cold. So there's already a freeze warning in effect from the National Weather Service. Model data has anywhere from the upper 20s, even mid-20s here in central Oklahoma. That's cold, folks. Even mid-20s out here, low 20s sometimes sneaking in there in areas of western Oklahoma. And then even some blue out here in eastern Oklahoma. That blue shading is the freezing point or lower. So you can see a good chunk of the state, with the exception probably here Ozarks, etc., in southeast Oklahoma will be seeing a freeze, at least a light freeze for you folks, and a harder freeze for the rest of the state. Then we're going to warm up pretty quickly Wednesday afternoon. Low 60s, looking good. Then I got some bad news for you after that. Now this run's not going to show it. Let me see if this one will. Okay. Now earlier projections were another freeze for about the Friday time frame. Now this model seems to think that we'll be at 39 degrees. Let me see here. That would not be a freeze, but I got to check the wind speeds because we could be seeing a frost. Winds are still up Friday morning. That would prevent the frost from occurring, and dew point values aren't that cold either. So that's good news. So the models have backed off this secondary round of cold air that was coming in later in the week. So looks like we might just get this freeze over with on Wednesday, be done with it. You guys can put all your plants back up. Now the last point I want to make, and we're going to talk about severe weather. We got to talk about that because, you know, 'tis the season. And around here, things have been fairly quiet. I'm not complaining. They had some really bad severe weather, in the southeast for Easter weekend. Unfortunately, a lot of damage from higher end tornadoes and some deaths associated with that. Like I said, we've been pretty lucky here so far. As I go through time, a little system here for that front this Thursday into Thursday night. A little bit of light rain with that, but otherwise the models are not excited. They do produce a little bit more return flow rainfall with an upper level disturbance that comes in over the weekend on Saturday. So if you have any plans outdoors, you might have those affected here, but they just looks like garden variety showers and storms. Does not look like a severe weather event with that. Onward we go. Man, it is unusually quiet. The weather pattern is not favorable for severe weather here in Oklahoma as these cold fronts keep pushing on in. There's a look all the way to April 23rd. So that's about 10 days from now. Now, I can take a look at another potential for a freeze real quick. I know some of you had asked me that in messages. Are we done once this week is over with? And it's always touchy because sometimes in April you can get a late, last-minute hurrah. But, the way things are going, I think we might be okay. Let's take a look here at the long range and just go way out there. So this is that Friday morning into the upper 30s, mid-30s. Let's see, there's some upper 30s Saturday. So at worst case, if winds are dying down, we have light winds, could see a frost. Otherwise, a big warm-up pattern is ensuing with some 80s returning. That's nice. Then another big cool down. Oh, that's miserable. What day is that on? Thursday, Wednesday of the 23rd. Let me go way out there. Hold on a second. Because why not? The accuracy is just so good once you get to 14, 15, 20 days, right? So let's do it. All right. So here's that front comes through. Brings us in some 40s. No big deal there. Some 50s. So chilly at night. Warm during the day. Actually, kind of like fall weather versus springtime weather. And this model does go out a little bit more when it comes to storm activity. We'll see if anything shows up on that one. The other one out 10 days. This one goes out about 15. Let's see. Keep in mind things can always change, but this is like just the little nuggets we look for as far as signals. So area low pressure here. It's got some storm activity. Best way to see really what the atmosphere looks like that day is just sounding. And at that point in time, the model is suggesting some decent shear and some good instability. Capes around 3,000. Some good turning with height. So good helicity. And in that particular case, the model gets excited. It goes, woohoo, severe weather day. Now that is Saturday, April 25th. That is a long ways away. This could change 1,000 times between now and then. But just want to throw that out there. All right, listen, that is what I've got for you here for tonight. Let me scroll through a couple of your comments, then we'll turn you loose. Jim says, Mustang, no snow yet. Well, Jim, get back out there. It may have changed the last few minutes. Jody's throwing that hashtag Team AT around everywhere. Remember, maybe I should put Team AT on the bottom of this broadcast where it says hashtag AT's weather. Because I want to do hashtag AT's weather for some of you guys' picture posts on Twitter and Instagram if you have some snow pics. Sergio's in the house. Mason's got some snow in Edmond. Yeah, the northern side of Edmond is is getting it versus, say, South Oklahoma City. And there she is pimping my weather app, AT's Weather to Go. You're so sweet, Jody. So that app comes in handy. I posted a testimonial on my website and on the Facebook page of an example where the app can be used for your kids in colleges and other towns and other parts of the country. Because, sometimes teenagers in early 20s, they didn't really care about the weather too much. So when a tornado comes knocking, they're not going to pay attention. So that's where Mama Bear comes in and goes, hey, I got the AT's Weather app, and I have your location plugged into it. You know what it just told me? Twisting storm alert. Get your butt to the shelter. That's how that works. It'll save her life, give you a peace of mind, and it'll be good. Let's see, on Twitter, Periscope, Grogger asks, did you add closed captions? So what I decided to do was to make this process a lot easier so I could do captioning on all platforms, because I broadcast on 2 Facebook pages, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. So I'm doing open captioning on all of those. So I found a workaround that's going to, I think, work out better for me. And it won't catch all the words because, sometimes I don't pronunciate words probably like the database would love to hear. It's a Texan in me. But, it'll do a good enough job. You can read between the lines. All right, let's go to patron guys on the closed group private Facebook page. By the way, thanks again for your support. I appreciate that. Angela says, hey, got my notification this time around. Good. And I wish I could control, Facebook notifies you, but sometimes they just don't play well with others. Tiffany, you bet. 60s and snow. Is that a mustache we see? Well, I haven't shaved in a couple days, so I've got a little something going on in the face. I usually don't grow out a beard. I usually get too irritated by the time I get to about this point and shave it off, but we'll see. All right, let's go to the main page here, and then we'll wrap it up. Thanks again for you guys watching, liking, sharing this video, friends and family, all that kind of stuff. And for my sponsors, I appreciate you guys that help me out because it allows me to give more bells and whistles to the broad audience. Let's see. Thanks, Sharon. You guys are so sweet, by the way. I got some of the best fans. You guys really are pleasant and you're nice. And that's a rarity. Trust me. I see enough garbage out there on social media. I feel like when your grandparents grew up, and they would say things about the next generation coming up. I'm finding myself saying the same thing. I'm even saying about my own generation. There's some people out there that needs to zip it. Jody's on top of it. You're so cute, Jody. Lacey. Yeah, there's no promises that the captioning is going to be 100%, but it's going to be close. Bring your plans in for Wednesday. That's for sure. Angela, snow flurries in Bentonville, Arkansas. All right, she's checking it from Arkansas tonight. Thanks, Angela. And yes, it's snowing way out there. It stretches, doesn't it? Audrey, your eyes are freaking out. Well, sometimes, depending on how I have this lit or what shirt I'm wearing, they can kind of key out some, the whites. So I got so many things I have to do for these broadcasts. Sometimes I forget to do some of the little things. And right now I'm trying to work on these new graphics that you see on the screen and the content. So I'm toying with that stuff right now so that you guys can see. Wait a minute, there's something not running right. What? I just saw this. I thought this was going. Okay. Nope, it wasn't. Now it is. Oh. Late to the party. My own software, late to the party. We'll work on that. Anyway, let's see. What else we got? Some of your comments are funny. I just laugh at them as I scroll by. Make it cold enough to kill the bugs. BK. Nah, they've already crawled into your house by now. You better kill them. Get those glue boards out. That catches them. That's what I do. I had a exterminator tell me a little secret for that because I used to have a brown recluse problem where I used to live. It was in an apartment complex called the Links, and it was a golf course, and it was actually really cheap back in the day, and you got free golf. I mean, you couldn't beat it, right? Well, little side note of that thing was infested with brown recluses, and I got bit like 3 times, and I don't do well with brown recluse spider bites. So they sprayed and sprayed, it didn't do any good, and the guy came out and says, look, dude, just put out these glue boards. Spraying's not going to work. These guys don't clean themselves, so they're never going to get the poison ingested. These, however, will trap them and they're dead. I caught 35 one summer. I had moved out. Seriously, at that point, I was like, I'm out. You know, you don't see them, but you catch them. Oh. All right. Anyway, sidetrack. Squirrel. Where am I going with this? Sarah, boy, peace, love, and harmony. You'd make a great hippie. Hippies tried that in the 60s. A lot of weed went around and a lot of peace, love, and harmony. Whole world's going to change. Even Coca-Cola did a commercial about it later. You know what? None of that worked. So I don't think that's going to happen. Jamie checking in. You bet. So this broadcast, like all the ones I do for live here in the home office, is sponsored by Ferguson Roof Systems. So I really appreciate those guys. They're very, very kind to me. And they do great work. Let's see. Tracy, Mother Nature needs to take a bipolar meds. This is Oklahoma. It's always bipolar. All right. So I scrolling through the last 50 or so messages. I'm all caught up. So looks like it's about 10:20. I'm going to go ahead and call it. And thank again for you guys for watching. It is time for all of us to get ready for Betty Bye. You know, got a busy day of work tomorrow. All of us trapped in the house. Got things to do. Alrighty, give me your feedback, comments, suggestions, love, hate, whatever it is on social media via direct messages, instant message, whatever platform they call it now. I lose track these days, but you know how it's done. All right, you guys have a great night, and thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Enjoy the snow. Send me some pictures. Hashtag it AT's Weather on Instagram and Twitter. All right, good night, everybody.